Hello, dear UPSC aspirants. I am Akriti Kanchi, your mentor from Prep IAS, and I'm trying to help you read newspaper. And today is 5th April. We are ready with the must-read articles of 5th April. We have started providing highlighted part of the selected articles that do with the precise mentioning of the syllabus. You can find that in our Telegram channels, and that link is provided in the description below. Right? So let's start without wasting any time. 5th April's newspaper from the front page. Yesterday in the 4th April, we had read how US went full throttled in the trade war, in the reciprocal tariffs. India is experiencing around 27% of tariff, right? So China is now hitting back. So trade war has begun. US started, China is responding. So China hits back with 34% tariff on all US products. Beijing retaliates after Trump's Liberation Day, as he called it, tariff hike of, and China is experiencing 34% tariff from USA. And so Commerce Ministry of China is saying that they will control exports of rare earth elements, where China is a leader, both in natural resources, in production of rare earth elements, and it is vital for production of high-tech products that US has a lot of advanced companies which is producing this high-tech products, and they will require this rare earth elements. So now China is going to touch that nerve, right? So what are those rare earth elements? You should know the names of those few also. Samarium and its compounds are used in aerospace manufacturing. It can come in your, it might come in your prelims. Samarium in aerospace manufacturing, okay? And there's another element called gadolinium, which is used in MRI scans, okay? Right? So they had and China has also suspended China's imports from some US suppliers after they detected furazolidone drug was found, which is banned in China in chicken. So that's why China suspended import of chickens from there. And it also found high level of mold in the sorghum and salmonella in the poultry meat coming from US. Okay, so these are other reasons. Okay, now president withholds assent to anti-need bill. So you should know under which article president has this power. So under article 200, governor can either give the assent to the bill or can reserve the bill for president's reconsideration, right? And as far as this is for the state's bill, okay, and as far as parliament's bill is concerned, this power is given under article 111. You should know about these articles, okay, as prelims are coming close. Let's move to the next article. We had discussed about BIMSTEC on 3rd April newspaper. You can go and visit it. Modi and Yunus set aside differences, discussed minority situation and water. So recently in the BIMSTEC meet, they have met. This comes under GS paper 2, regional groupings involving India, which is BIMSTEC. BIMSTEC is a 7-nation grouping. Okay. Initially, it started in 1997 with 4 countries: Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. But after that, Myanmar joined it, and then Bhutan and Nepal. So it became 7 countries right now. Most of the countries are not in good condition. Bangladesh is facing a lot of political turmoil along with Myanmar, with whom our Honorable Prime Minister had discussion. Okay, let's move to the next article. Great example. Again, this point will be used as a nice example in your GS paper 1, maybe in your essay paper also, right? So Muslim majority village elects Hindu woman as sarpanch. Great example, right? Generally, women are not given that much preference. So a majority village of different religion is selecting a woman of another religion. That's a great example, right? And this comes under GS paper 1, salient features of Indian society and diversity of India. So a panchayat in Haryana's Noor district with 14 and it's 14 of 15 members, 14 out of 15 members are Muslim, right? And its lone Hindu women member was elected as sarpanch. It's a great example. And there is the woman who is Nisha Chauhan is saying there is no religious discrimination in their district Mewat. My election will send a message of communal harmony across the region. Okay, let's move to the next article. Yeah, so we directly come to the editorial page. There we are talking again about the America's, this liberation thing that US has said. So this topic comes under GS paper 2, effect of policies and politics of developed country like US, which affects India's interest. So recently, Donald Trump has started this global trade war on April 2 in Washington, and the editor is trying to bring comparison with Richard Nixon, President Richard Nixon during 1971. He did not the same thing, but again a very revolutionary thing. He stunned the world by announcing the temporary suspension of the US dollar's convertibility to gold. So earlier US dollars was related to gold, but in 1971 it was suspended. Temporary suspension was there, which became permanent later, right? And this dismantled the Bretton Woods framework of World Bank, IMF, on which it was based. Okay, it was, so this was the anchor for global currency stability at that point of time. Okay, it started as temporary but became permanent. So US is the world's largest importer of manufactured goods even now. Okay, so 13% of global imports, which is highest, is be taken by USA. Okay, so this new tariffs will change the supply chains. Okay, because it will become expensive in US and they will not buy it, so it will reroute supply chains and force countries to diversify their export strategies, right? Since cost of imports will rise in America, it will reduce demand because the things are expensive. American people will not buy it. Demand will reduce. The company manufacturers in India, China will start finding another markets for it. So there will be certain disruptions there, right? So the ripple effects will be global. Production slowdowns will surely happen as exporters scramble to find alternate markets. Okay, and China, Japan, India, European Union will suffers temporary decline in economic growth. But today's world is different than the 1971 world of Nixon, right? Because today China commands the largest share of global trade. In US is not the largest global trade person, but China commands the largest share of global trade with 14%, while US has slipped to roughly 10%. So the world's leading exporters of advanced technology is not US but China, Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea. Okay, so if US will behave like this, it will even further reduce from its hegemony. Okay, where there are several contenders. Next article. A case for global south in securing Ukraine peace. Okay, this comes under GS paper 2. Important international institutions like United Nations and UN peacekeeping and India. So there are some few good points about India's role in UN peacekeeping. Okay, so the article is talking about Ukraine and how global south can improve the situation of Ukraine, at which NATO cannot do much because Russia has said that it will not take any help or any decisions from NATO. Okay, so here it's the time for global south, a coalition of nations from Africa, Asia, Latin America to rise to the occasion and offer to lead a United Nations backed peacekeeping mission in Ukraine. Okay, so that is what they're saying. The Ukraine war is a chance for the global south to emerge as a force that is credible and neutral in shaping global stability. Okay, so here there is why have I chosen this article? But there are a lot of examples how India has done great in peacekeeping. So India demonstrated in Liberia, which was a war-torn country, where the inclusion, they kept female peacekeepers. Okay, so females were posted in a war-torn country as peacekeepers, whose presence has been shown to foster community trust and address gender-based violence, which happens a lot during wars. Okay, a persistent issue in conflict zone. Okay, so India's contribution, we should know. India, with its legacy in UN peacekeeping, is especially well placed for the leadership. India has contributed over 290,000 peacekeepers to more than 50 UN missions. More than 290,000 peacekeepers to 50 UN missions. India's experience is unparalleled. Currently, it has more than 5,000 Indian peacekeepers and are deployed in 9 of the 11 active peace operations. Okay, in 2007, India became the first country to deploy an all-women police contingent to a peacekeeping mission in a war-torn Liberia. Amazing example that you can use when you want to say, even if the question is about the permanent seat in UNSC, you can give this point that India has contributed a lot. More than 160 Indian peacekeepers have paid the ultimate price, that is their life, serving the UN flag so far, the highest number any country has done till now. So these examples, this Liberia example, this number 290,000 peacekeepers till now in 50 UN mission, you should try and remember. Okay, So a peacekeeping mission in Ukraine under the auspices of the UN offers more than just a pathway to stability of Eastern Europe. Okay, so now this is the future. Let's move to the next article. This article talks about transgenders. Okay, people still waiting to move out of the margins. They're still discriminated against. So this comes under our syllabus, GS paper 2, welfare schemes for vulnerable sections. Transgenders are vulnerable, okay, and the welfare schemes by the center and state. So what is happening here? There was an International Transgenders Day on visibility on March 31, which highlight the challenges that transgenders are facing, right? Transgenders Person Protection Act 2019 is there, right? But still it is not implemented rightly. So there is still social stigma, economic exclusion, discrimination, barriers to education, employment, healthcare, so many issues that they are facing, right? So weak implementation of Transgender Person Act 2019 hampers their access to welfare schemes. Okay, so what is the major issue? So there was an identity, so they are supposed to be given identity cards that they are transgenders, okay, and it is supposed to be done by the bureaucrats. Okay, so 24,000 identity card applications are there and only few have been passed till now. So this is one of the issues that you can write when the question of transgender comes, that the act's bureaucratic certification process delays recognition by contrasting global standards of self-determination. Generally, in a lot of countries, you can self-determine that you are transgender, but here we need a bureaucratic certification, right? It also lacks provision for addressing police harassment, family rejection, and social exclusion. A 2018 National Human Rights Commission report found that 92% of transgenders individuals were excluded from economic activities. NHRC report, 92% were removed, right? A 2022 study reported transgender unemployment rate at 48%. So that is the unemployment rate of transgender, whereas national average of unemployment is 7%. So 7% for normal people and 48% for transgender. So discrimination starts at hiring, but it's a great example of Tata Steel, which has hired over 100 transgender employees, but the industry-wide adoption is not so good, but you can use the example of Tata Steel. In 2024, the Finance Ministry clarified that LGBTQ individuals could open joint bank accounts and nominate partners as beneficiaries, but still financial exclusion is not up to the mark. The 2011 census said the transgender literacy rate, that how much they are educated, is just 56%, whereas our national average in 2011 was 74%. Okay, in Kerala, 58% dropped out due to bullying, harassment, and unsupportive environment. So some states are taking some good actions, like Maharashtra has transgender cells in colleges. For example, if students are facing issue, they can go to this transgender cells. And University of Kerala has also reserved seats and hostel facilities, right? There are also healthcare challenges. There are systemic discrimination, financial barriers, and inadequate medical infrastructure. In spite of national health policy and Ayushman Bharat, accessibility is still not widespread. A National Legal Service Authority, NALSA, survey found that 27% were denied healthcare due to their gender identity. That's really bad and mistreatment, because all are humans of Indian citizen, right? While the Ayushman Bharat card offers 5 lakh annual coverage to transgenders, but implementation gaps persist. So there should be genuine inclusion of transgenders in media, in education, workplaces, right? There are initiatives like I Am Also Human campaign by the Humsafar Trust, but gender sensitization is more required. The cultural events like Tamil Nadu's Kuvagam Festival can promote their acceptance, and we need to enforce anti-discrimination law, which is really poor. Inclusive hiring and supporting transgender entrepreneurs. We should promote transgender entrepreneurs. These are essential steps to be taken for improvement of transgenders. Let's move to the next article. The last article of the day. Yeah, and it talks about, so it is important from prelims point of view. Okay, so Supreme Court has directed Central Empowered Committee to survey forests in Agastya Malai Biosphere Reserve for encroachment. This is more of prelims fact for environment. Whatever national parks, biosphere reserves comes in newspaper, you should learn about it. Okay, so they are talking about Agastya Malai landscape, which is where it is in southernmost Western Ghats. Okay, so Agastya Malai landscape is recognized by UNESCO It is a 3,500-kilometer biosphere reserve. It's a map site, okay? So you should know how many biosphere reserves are in our country and how many are the map site according to UNESCO. Please learn this fact, okay? And I'll tell you in the next class, okay? In the next class. So what all national tiger reserves and sanctuaries are there in the Agastyamalai landscape? It can be asked in prelims, okay? It has been asked in past. So Periyar Tiger Reserve, Srivilli Puthur Grizzled Squirrel Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, so Periyar Tiger Reserve, Srivilli Puthur Grizzled Squirrel Wildlife Sanctuary, Meghmalai Thirunelveli Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, so there's immediate need to preserve the reserve forests, etc. And you should go and find these places, find these national parks in the map of India, in the southern India. So Agastyamalai is shared between Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Agastyamalai biosphere is in the both states, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. You should know these facts. Okay, that's it for 5th April. Thank you.